Hello, this is Chris Strickland, and I want to do an astrology chart reading for Willam Belli. He was on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 4, and he is a Cancer with a Scorpio moon. This is a very harmonious, but having a Scorpio moon is pretty scary. The combination of a sun in Cancer and a moon in Scorpio produces a forceful and a temperamental personality. Willam's emotions are so near the surface that it takes more than the ordinary amount of understanding to reach him. He's intense and somewhat dramatic in his actions, though not necessarily the life of the party. He does certainly have a magnetic appeal and commanding demeanor. This draws people to Willam in the social arena. He's not so much popular as he is impelling. When his feelings can stay out of the way, there are no limits to what he can accomplish. Being a Cancer, being ruled by the moon, could signify mother issues, family issues, and he could also take on the role of the mother. Now again, the Scorpio moon is scary. People are scared of Willam. Not all people, but most people. When you have a Scorpio moon, people are scared of you. And they're going to be fake to you a lot, but you know the intentions of people. Willam knows intentions. His emotional being is to look at somebody, give you that Scorpio stare, the death ray, and look right through you and know exactly what you want. So that's a pro. Cons, like I said, mother issues, controlling issues. I don't have his time of birth, so I can't look deeply into his chart, but he has a stellium in Libra, and if you don't know what that means you have a lot of planets in Libra. So Willam has a lot of planets in Libra, including Saturn, the discipline planet. You go through your Saturn return every 30 years. So Saturn was in Libra 2012 through 13, I believe, and Willam probably went through his most life-changing experience during that time when Saturn was in Libra, because Saturn in Libra, it's about justice and what you deserve, and there's ups and downs in a Saturn return, and it looks like it worked out for him. So that's good. And his show is a riot, and that's the best possible route he could have taken. Like, he's very intuitive, very psychic, very knowing, and he sees you. You know, when he always says, I see you. He really sees you. Willam has a very deep protectiveness over people he loves. It's the Scorpio moon. He will fight for people he loves and stick up for people he loves. And I know he's an actor, but looking behind the curtains, he's actually very sensitive. He is ruled by the moon, and the moon changes signs every 2 days. So emotionally, he's all over the place, and he has to stay guarded because he knows his emotions are kind of all over the place. But what's interesting is his sun in Cancer is at degree 8. That means he is a decisive, very intense about what his decisions are, very certain of what he decides to do in his life, and he goes for it. And that is the demeanor of the Capricorn, which is the degree 8. And Capricorn is opposite Cancer. So he's very sensitive behind the curtains, but he's got a demeanor of seriousness, yet nonchalant seriousness, but that could be the acting. But underneath, he's probably a big sweetheart. I can see that in him just by watching his videos. I've watched certain interviews. There was this one interview with a girl. It was a very awkward interview. Willam was wide open and, just chit-chatting with the girl. And it's like after everything he said, she was just kind of like, okay. And so he definitely comes off like a little too much. And I can understand this, having a Scorpio moon myself, although I'm not a Cancer. Scorpio moon people scare you, like I've said. Willam's not an idealist, but rather practical with dollars and cents issues and personal worldly ambitions. That's what he's going to shoot for. His romantic side is lavish in affections, but apt to being extremely jealous if given a cause. Defensive behavior is strongly marked in his nature. And he'll seem, now I don't know his full chart because I don't have the time, but he'll seem to have your feelings out for threatening vibrations almost all the time. You can see this in RuPaul's Drag Race season 4. I watched up until his elimination, and I turned it off. I didn't watch the rest. But Sharon Needles won. That was cool. But yeah, you can see this with him and Fifi. If you watch Untucked, Fifi did not like Willam. Now, I don't know if this was acting, but I could sense it was the real deal. Yeah, I don't think Fifi liked Willam very much. And I think Willam carried himself very well. And I didn't really like Fifi. Anyways, back to Willam. Most gay men are looking for a daddy. But how many are looking for a mommy? A lot, actually. And that's why Willam is the type of man who is so in demand when it comes to romance. Of course, he can't always see it that way, but he's earned his moody reputation. You can see this in his shows, in his demeanor, in his facial expressions. Even though he's acting, I can see through it anyway, that when he's done, he's done. Bye. Willam could be a morose drunk, a brilliant artist, a savvy workaholic, businessman. I'm going to lean more towards that because he seems to have his shit together. He's probably really good in bed, just looking at the chart. But if you're around him long enough, say 2 months, if you're very observant, you'll actually see he's really not a bad person. Scorpio moon people are not bad people. They're just scary, and they're in their own heads, and they can see you. And Willam can see you. Willam is full of water. He's got a watery chart that's emotions. So he has to take extra steps to protect his emotional state, because being ruled by the moon changes every 2 days in different signs. So every 2 days, his mood probably changes. Which you could say that for anybody, but it's going to be more so with Willam being ruled by the moon. His wacky moods may at times convince you that he's emotionally unstable, or to put it mildly, just completely off his rocker. But in reality, he's just moody. It's okay. He's just moody. That doesn't mean he isn't incredibly successful and capable in his dealings outside his home. So that's basically all I have to say about Willam Belli's chart. Subscribe below, please. And Willam, if you're watching this, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Shut the fuck up, Google Chrome.
You wanna donate to my cookie plate? Give me whole milk. Tastes great. You wanna donate to my cookie plate? Give me whole milk. Yeah, I'm a ho. All night snow, trick and hoe. Turkey getting stuffed, spit roast. Wearing summer clothes in the snow.